Welcome to AI Motion Studio. In this tutorial, we're diving into a powerful tool for AI editing, MagicQuill, your ultimate guide to AI-powered interactive image editing. If you've ever wanted to make complex image edits as effortlessly as waving a brush, then MagicQuill is the tool for you. Today, we'll explore how to install MagicQuill on your local machine and make the most of its powerful editing features without any limitations. Imagine changing backgrounds, altering colors, or even swapping entire objects in an image with just a few brush strokes and prompts, all from the comfort of your own computer. MagicQuill is an intelligent, AI-driven image editing system that puts creative control directly in your hands. Whether you're an artist, content creator, or someone just getting started with image editing, MagicQuill's user-friendly interface makes it incredibly accessible. You can think of it as having a smart brush that not only helps you make edits, but also predicts what you're aiming to do based on your brush strokes. For instance, if you want to remove an object, simply brush over it, and the AI will suggest an appropriate action, like completely erasing that element or replacing it with something new. While its AI guesses can sometimes miss the mark, you always have the ability to fine-tune the prompts to get exactly what you want. With this tool, you can brush over a part of the image and change its color, like giving someone pink hair or turning a dull sky into a vibrant sunset. One of the standout features of MagicQuill is its capability to modify and manipulate objects in an image with incredible ease. Imagine brushing over someone's clothing and simply typing in red bikini to change their outfit, or brushing over a character's hairstyle to give them a new look. It also makes changing backgrounds almost too easy. MagicQuill is designed to make what used to be complex edits quick and intuitive, turning what could be hours of work into a matter of minutes. Imagine adding sunglasses, swapping clothing styles, or even seamlessly blending parts of one image into another. It's all achievable with just a few clicks. Plus, with the ability to run the tool locally, you aren't tied down by limits on usage. This is a major advantage for artists and content creators who need to make frequent edits without worrying about cloud limitations or server availability. In this video, we're going to go through the installation step by step and then jump straight into some hands-on examples. By the end of this tutorial, you'll be equipped to harness the full power of MagicQuill to bring your creative visions to life. Let's get started and make image editing a breeze. Here's how to install it. If you scroll to the middle somewhere, it's going to contain all the instructions to download this. So let's go over all of these. The first step is we need to git clone this repository. In order to do that, you do need to have Git installed on your computer. If you already have Git installed, feel free to skip to the next section. So all we gotta do is download the latest release for whatever operating system you're using. So I'm using Windows, so I'm just gonna click on download for Windows. I'm running 64-bit, so I'm gonna click on this to download, and it's now downloading this exe file. So once that's completed, all we gotta do is open that exe file and then follow the steps. So I'm gonna click on next. I'm just gonna go with the default install location, which is program files/git. So I'll click next for that. And then I'm just gonna leave this at the default. And then I'm gonna click next again and click next here. We're just gonna use the default settings for all of these. There's a lot of settings that you need to go through, so I'm just gonna click next for all of these. All right, and then it should go ahead and install all the files, so this might take a few minutes. Perfect, so now we have Git installed. All right, assuming you do have Git installed on your computer, you first need to decide where on your computer you want to clone this repository. For me, I'm just gonna clone this on my desktop, so I'm going to open up my desktop, and then in this top bar here, I'm going to type in CMD to open up command prompt within this desktop folder. Now, going back to here, we simply need to copy this line and then paste it in our command prompt window and press enter. So this is basically cloning all the files and folders here into a folder on our desktop. So once that's done, on our desktop, you should see this MagicQuill folder. Let me just drag this to the middle somewhere, and if you open this, you should see that the files and folders are the same as this GitHub repository. All right, so the next step is we need to change our directory to the MagicQuill folder. Because if you open up our command prompt, right now we are still in desktop. So we need to go one folder into the MagicQuill folder, which we just created. So I'm going to press enter, and right now you can see that we are now in this MagicQuill folder. All right, so the next step is to use wget to download this models.zip folder. Now, if you don't have wget, you can just install the zip file via this link here. And that's actually what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to copy this link and then paste it in my browser, and it should prompt me to download this models.zip file. So I'm going to press save, and note that this is 27.6 gigabytes in size. So this is going to take a while to download depending on your internet connection. All right, so after the download has completed, you should see this models.zip file. So let's open this up, and here is where we have this models folder. So I'm going to unzip this models folder into our MagicQuill folder. And note that the total size of this unzipped folder is going to be 32 gigabytes. All right, so afterwards, you should see this models folder within your MagicQuill folder. And if you open that up, it should look like this. Now, the next step is to use Conda to create a virtual environment. So this does require Anaconda. If you don't have Anaconda, here's how to install it. If you have it already, feel free to skip to the next section. Now, I'm just on anaconda.com, and actually what I'm going to do is install Miniconda. This is a minimalist version of Anaconda. If you install the full Anaconda, it installs a lot of packages and dependencies that you might not need. This just takes up more room on your computer, and of course, the installation time is a bit longer. But with Miniconda, it's just a bare bones package, and you can always install additional packages and dependencies afterwards. So I'm going to click on latest Miniconda installer links by Python version, and I'm using Windows, so I'm going to install one of these. Now, for free and open source AI tools, usually they do not support Python 3.12, so it's better to install the Python 3.11 version. So I'm going to click on this, which should download an exe file to your computer. Once it's finished downloading, simply double-click on this and then follow the steps to complete the installation. So I'm going to click Next, and then agree, and then let's set this to all users. I'm going to go with the default destination folder, and then I'm going to check this as well, clear the package cache upon completion. This just gives you back some more disk space without affecting functionality. All right, once that's completed, let's click Next, and then we are finished. Now, we aren't done yet, so if you open up the command prompt and you type in conda version, you're still going to see that Conda is not recognized. This is because we haven't added Anaconda to our path yet. So let's exit out of this, and then to add it to our path, we simply search for this function, edit the system environment variables. We're going to click on this, and then click on environment variables, and then click on the one that says path, and then click edit. And here's where you add in the path of Anaconda. So it depends where you installed Anaconda. For me, I installed it in program data. So it's going to be in program data /miniconda. And then if I double click on scripts, you can see that Conda is here. So this is the folder we want to paste in. So I'm going to right click on this and then copy as path. And then back in the environment variables window, I'm going to click new and then paste in the path here and then click OK and then OK and then OK again. Now, if you open up command prompt again and type in conda version, you should see that we are running 24.5.0. So this shows that we have successfully installed Anaconda. Anyways, assuming that you do have Conda installed, let's copy this line of code, and then back here, we will paste it in here. So this line basically means it's getting Anaconda to create a new virtual environment with the name MagicQuill, and this environment will be using Python version 3.10. Now, the reason why we need to create a virtual environment is because this MagicQuill uses a lot of different packages and dependencies of very specific versions. And if you have other AI tools on your computer that uses these packages of different versions, then this is basically going to conflict with your existing tools. So instead, we should create a virtual environment, or basically think of this as like a separate hard drive that contains all the dependencies that are needed for MagicQuill only. So this ensures that MagicQuill would run successfully and also that it would not conflict with any other existing tools on your computer. All right, let's press enter. So right now it's creating this virtual environment. All right, so you should see this. And now once we created this virtual environment, we also need to activate it. So we simply type in conda activates and then whatever you named your virtual environment. In our case, it's MagicQuill. Notice the capital M and capital Q. And once I press enter, you should see the name of your virtual environment in parentheses at the start of every line, which signifies that you are now in this virtual environment. All right, so the next step is to pip install this interface. So I'm going to copy this line and paste it in here. So it's downloading all these requirements and now it's installing all these packages. All right, so after it has installed all these dependencies from the wheel file, the next step is to paste in this line. However, this function is only for Linux. It's not for Windows. So actually for Windows, what we need to do is actually write this. So copy and then the file and then the path. So let's press enter and it looks like we already have this file existing in the Lava directory. But it doesn't hurt to just recopy it. So I'm going to press yes. And then after that is done, let's paste in this line. So I'm just going to copy it and then paste it in here. So right now it's downloading all of these dependencies and now it's installing this. So again, this is going to take a while. All right, if all goes well, you should see this message successfully installed all these packages. And then the next step is to pip install all the requirements in this requirements.txt file. So let me copy this and then paste it in here and press enter. And by the way, what this is doing is it's looking at all the things that are listed in this requirements.txt file, and it's going to install all of these if you don't have them already. So again, this is going to download and install all the requirements, which might take a while depending on your internet connection. But if all goes well, you should see this line again with no error messages. Now, the final step is to just paste in this line to run the Gradio interface. Now, actually, before we do that, I'm just going to exit out of this and show you how to run this from scratch. So let's say you want to start this up again the next day. Well, all you need to do is head over to your MagicQuill folder and then at the top bar here, type in CMD to open up command prompt in this MagicQuill folder and then type in conda activate and whatever you named your environment. In our case, it's MagicQuill. So after you press enter, you should see MagicQuill in parentheses, which means you are in your virtual environment. And the final step is to paste in this line. Now, because I'm using Windows, this line is slightly different. Instead, it should be set CUDA visible devices equals 0, and then two ands, and then Python gradio_run.py. So what this line means, it's basically setting the GPU to the first available CUDA device that it sees. This does not mean setting the CUDA devices to 0, okay? This means setting the GPU to the first available CUDA device. And then it's using Python to run this gradio_run.py file, which if you open up your MagicQuill folder, it's just this file over here. So let's press enter and see if this works. All right, and if all goes well, it should detect your GPU up here, and then it also needs to install some additional dependencies that you see here. So this is also going to take a while. For example, this PyTorch model.bin file is like 1.7 gigabytes, but note that it only needs to install this the first time. Afterwards, once you run it, it's going to be a lot faster. All right, well, unfortunately, we've hit this error. So if I go to the Issues tab in the GitHub repo, someone actually posted the same key error. And then if you scroll down a bit, it looks like the only change that we need to make is in this brushnet_nodes.py file, and we need to add this at line 57. So let's try to track down this file. So in our MagicQuill folder, it's going to be in MagicQuill, and then here we see this brushnet_nodes file. So you can open this in like Notepad or a code editor. I'm using Cursor for this, but you can use like VS Code or just Notepad or WordPad. Anyways, in line 57, let's see. Line 57 is here. So what we need to do is add this line right after the definition. So let me copy this line and then paste it in here. And then I'll click Save. And then if you're using Windows, there's one last step you need to do before you can get this to work. So I'm going to link to this GitHub issue in the description below as well. But basically, we also need to open this Gradio run.py file. Again, you can just open this in Notepad or whatever code editor you have. So I'm using Cursor, so I'm just going to run that. And then it says replace this line with this line. So let me just find realistic vision, which is over here. So this is line 198. And then I'm going to copy this and paste it in here. And then let me just format this nicely. And then you can also replace this UV corn line. So let's try to find that in this file, which is just the bottom line here. And instead of these 4 zeros, we are just going to replace it with 127.0.0.1. So let me select this and then paste it in, and then I'm going to click Save. All right, so now that all those steps are done, let's start up MagicQuill from scratch again. So let's open up the MagicQuill folder and then type in CMD at the top here. And then we are going to type in conda activates MagicQuill to activate our virtual environment. And then after that's done, we just type in set CUDA visible devices equals 0. Again, this means use the first available CUDA device on your computer, and then use Python to run this Gradio run.py file. And if all goes well, we should not see any errors. And if all goes well, you should see this link at the bottom here. So we just need to hold down Control and click on this link, and it will open up this Gradio interface. To use MagicQuill, start by clicking here to upload an image you'd like to edit. For this example, I'll upload an image of actress Gal Gadot. First, I'll select the add brush to mask sunglasses on her. After adding the mask, I'll enter the prompt sunglasses and click Run. In just a few seconds, the result is ready. Now she's wearing sunglasses. To accept the changes, I'll click the green marker icon. Next, I'll use the RGB color brush to mask her hair. I'll choose a blonde color and apply the mask to her hair. Then I'll enter the prompt blonde hair and click Run. A few seconds later, she now has blonde hair. I'll accept the changes. Now let's change her outfit. I'll mask her dress using the add brush. Once the mask is in place, I'll add a prompt like green dress. Perfect. She's now wearing a beautiful green dress. Next, I'll change the background. I'll mask the image's background and add the prompt runway fashion show background. And there it is. She's now on a runway at a fashion show. Finally, let's upgrade her necklace. I'll mask the necklace area and add the prompt golden necklace with diamonds. And there you have it, a complete step-by-step tutorial on how to use MagicQuill to make these edits. I think MagicQuill could be a fantastic alternative to services like Photoshop. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe for more tutorials, and let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.